Welcome back. Please like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel.
Hello and welcome. Today we have important news from the White House regarding international business.
That is right, Alex. President Trump has signed the Reciprocal Trade Enforcement Act. This new law changes how the United States handles trade with other countries.
The president says this law will protect American workers. Jamie, can you explain the main idea of this act?
Certainly. The law focuses on mirror tariffs. This means if another country puts a high tax on American goods, the U.S. will now quickly charge that same tax back on their products.
So instead of having long talks with many countries at once, the U.S. will now focus on direct one-on-one deals.
Exactly. During the ceremony, President Trump said this would help American manufacturing, especially in the Midwest. A new task force will now watch trade in sectors like cars, farming, and technology.
I understand some people are worried about this. Are there concerns that other nations might get angry and fight back?
Yes, some experts are worried about a trade war. However, the administration believes the U.S. economy is strong enough to lead these changes. They believe this will force other countries to lower their taxes to reach American consumers.
There is also a mention of fairness waivers. What are those?
Those allow the president to help developing nations. If a smaller country promises to change their trade rules to be more fair, the U.S. might not use these new taxes against them.
Domestic manufacturers are already starting to invest more money in their factories, expecting a better environment for business.
It is a big change for the global market. We will see the first list of affected countries later this month.
Thank you for that clear explanation, Jamie. We will continue to watch this story closely.
Thank you, Alex.
Hello and welcome. Today we are discussing a major update from the White House. President Trump has signed a new executive order to move several large government agencies out of Washington, D.C.
That is correct, Alex. The plan is to relocate these offices to the American Heartland. The first agencies to move will be the Department of Agriculture, the Department of the Interior, and the Bureau of Land Management. They're moving to Missouri, Nebraska, and Utah.
This seems like a massive project. What is the main reason for moving these headquarters so far away from the Capitol?
The administration says this will bring decision-makers closer to the citizens they serve. For example, moving the Department of Agriculture puts it closer to farmers. The president also believes that modern technology makes it unnecessary for everyone to be in one city. It should also save the government money because the cost of living is lower in the Midwest.
It sounds like a big change for the employees. Are there concerns about people losing their jobs?
Yes, that is a significant point. Some experts worry that experienced staff may resign rather than move their families across the country. To prevent this, the White House is offering a relocation package. This includes housing help and faster career growth for those who choose to move.
So this is not just about moving offices. It is about changing how the government works.
Exactly. This is part of the president's Drain the Swamp agenda. The goal is to reduce the influence of lobbyists in Washington. At the same time, it will create thousands of new jobs in Missouri, Nebraska, and Utah.
The entire process is expected to take about 3 years. It is certainly one of the most significant changes to the federal government in many years. Thank you for the insight, Jamie.
You are very welcome, Alex.
Good morning. Today we are looking at a major shift in the world of technology. For decades, our computers have relied on electricity moving through silicon, but that is about to change.
Hello, Alex. That's right. Silicon Valley is moving toward photonic computing. For a long time, traditional chips have faced two big problems. They get too hot and they use too much energy. We have reached the physical limit of what electricity can do.
To solve this, a group of tech giants has introduced the light chip. Instead of using electrons, these processors use photons, which are particles of light, to move data. This makes them about 1,000 times faster than the best chips we have today.
It is a massive improvement. Because light does not create the same friction as electricity, these chips stay cool and use very little power. This is perfect for large data centers that currently spend millions of dollars just on cooling systems.
There are other benefits too, aren't there? I've read that these chips are great for space exploration.
Exactly. Photonic chips are resistant to magnetic interference. This makes them much more reliable for high-altitude planes and satellites. It truly represents the biggest change in computer science since the invention of the modern circuit.
Of course, building these chips requires new factories and very precise lasers. While the technology is expensive now, experts believe it will reach the general public by early 2027.
It's an exciting time. We are essentially watching the birth of a new era in hardware, ensuring that our devices will continue to get faster and smarter for decades to come.
Thank you for that analysis, Jamie. It is certainly a story we will continue to follow.
My pleasure, Alex.
Good morning. Today we are discussing a major change in the world of home technology. The new Sentinel G3 robot has just been released, and it is changing how we think about our privacy.
That is right, Alex. In the past, most smart home devices had to send our data to distant servers, often called the cloud, to work properly. However, the Sentinel G3 uses edge intelligence. This means the robot processes all information inside its own body.
This is a very important shift. Many people are worried about their private videos or voices being stored on the internet. With this local-first approach, your private life stays inside your home. No data is sent away.
Exactly. To do this, the robot uses powerful internal chips. These chips allow it to recognize faces and understand speech without any help from the internet. Because of this, the robot works perfectly even in rural areas where the Wi-Fi is weak.
It also makes the robot much faster, doesn't it?
It does. Because the robot does not have to wait for a signal from a distant server, it can react instantly. For example, if an object falls or if there is a danger in the kitchen, the robot can see it and act immediately.
Experts believe this will change the entire industry. They expect that future devices, like health monitors and even self-driving cars, will soon use this same private design.
It seems that customers are now demanding technology that respects the boundaries of their homes. This robot is a big step toward that goal.
A very calm and secure way to bring artificial intelligence into our daily lives. Thank you for that analysis, Jamie.
My pleasure, Alex.
Good morning. I'm Alex. Today we are discussing a major development from the U.S. Treasury Department. Under the Trump administration, the government has officially launched the American Sovereign Bond.
Hello, Alex. This is a very interesting move. These bonds are unique because they are digital, but they are also backed by physical gold stored in federal vaults.
Exactly. The goal is to provide stability. In a world where markets can be uncertain, these bonds offer a flight to quality. This means investors have a safe place to put their money.
It is a blend of the old and the new. By connecting the digital bond to a fixed weight of gold, the Treasury is combining modern technology with an ancient store of value. This should help strengthen the U.S. dollar's position as the world's main reserve currency.
Let's talk about the technology. These bonds use a secure, government-managed digital ledger. This allows for instant trading and makes it much easier for smaller, everyday investors to participate.
That is an important point. Financial analysts also believe these bonds could help control inflation. Because the value is tied to gold, it stays more stable than other currencies or volatile crypto assets.
There is also talk about using these for international trade. It gives our global partners a stable way to exchange value without worrying about market fluctuations.
True, though some economists wonder if this will limit the Federal Reserve's ability to adjust monetary policy. However, the initial response has been very positive. The first offering was fully sold out within just a few hours.
It seems there is a strong appetite for stability right now. Thank you for joining us for this update.
It was a pleasure, Alex. We will continue to monitor how these bonds impact the global market.
Good morning. Today we are discussing a significant change in America's big cities. For a long time, many office buildings have been empty because more people are working from home.
That is correct, Alex. This trend created a serious problem for city centers. However, we are now seeing a steady recovery thanks to a new federal policy under the Trump administration.
The policy is called the Metropolitan Renewal Program. It provides tax credits to developers. In simple terms, the government is offering financial help to turn empty offices into modern apartments.
It is a very logical move. By converting these underutilized buildings into residential spaces, cities like Chicago, Atlanta, and Dallas are becoming vibrant again. We call this a live-work-play model.
What is interesting is that these projects are not just for luxury living. The financial framework encourages workforce housing. This means the new apartments are affordable for a wide range of workers.
This shift has also changed the mind of many banks. Before, lenders were worried about the risks of commercial buildings. Now, they see residential conversions as a safe and stable investment.
The broader economic impact is also quite clear. As more residents move back into downtown areas, local businesses, like restaurants and shops, are thriving once more.
Additionally, local governments are reporting higher tax revenues. They are using this money to improve public safety and fix roads and bridges.
It is an impressive solution. By aligning private business interests with the public's need for housing, the administration is successfully revitalizing our urban centers.
Indeed. It seems our city centers have a bright new future ahead. Thank you for joining us for this update.
Good morning. Today, we are discussing a major update to a program designed to strengthen our communities and our workforce.
That's right, Alex. The government has just announced a significant expansion of the National Civic Service Corps, or the NCSC. The program will now double the number of young people it can accept.
The focus of this expansion is very specific. It targets rural areas that need help with aging infrastructure and literacy rates. The program invites young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 to serve their country for 18 months.
In exchange for their service, these young people receive a significant educational stipend to help pay for college. They also get a preferential status when applying for government jobs in the future.
It is a practical deal, but what exactly will these service units be doing in these small towns?
They have two main goals. First, they are modernizing rural libraries by turning them into digital learning hubs. They are also physically repairing small-town main streets. Second, they are launching a Literacy First campaign. This involves one-on-one tutoring for elementary school students who need extra help with reading.
It is interesting to see the social impact as well. By bringing together young people from different backgrounds to work on these projects, the program aims to reduce social division and build common ground.
President Trump has praised the initiative. He says the program promotes American greatness by teaching the values of hard work and patriotism.
The program also includes partnerships with private companies. These businesses provide technical training and certifications. This ensures that when the 18 months are over, these young adults are ready for high-paying careers.
It is a rare example of a program that has received praise from both sides of the political aisle. It focuses on clear, practical results for local communities.
A steady path forward for the nation's youth and its infrastructure. Thank you for joining us for this update. Good morning. Today, we are discussing a major step in improving the nation's infrastructure. President Trump's administration has started the primary phase of the American Power and Connectivity Act.
It is an ambitious project, Alex. The goal is to modernize our electrical grid, while also solving the problem of slow internet in rural areas.
This dual-purpose approach is very practical. While workers replace old power lines, they are also installing fiber optic cables. By doing both at the same time, the government is reducing costs and making the process much faster.
That is a significant point. For people in the Great Plains and the Appalachian region, this means more than just better light bulbs. It means high-speed gigabit internet. This is essential for modern agriculture, where farmers now use precision sensors and automated machinery.
It also changes where people can work. With reliable internet, individuals can stay in their small towns and participate in the global digital economy from home. Local leaders say this is already attracting new residents to rural communities.
Beyond the economy, there is the issue of safety. The project introduces smart grid technology. If there is a storm or a cyber attack, the system can automatically reroute power to keep homes connected.
And let's not forget the microgrids. These are smaller power nodes for critical places like hospitals and emergency centers. Even if the main grid fails, these essential services will stay online.
It is a steady, long-term investment. By focusing on both energy and connectivity, the project builds a more resilient future for the American heartland.
Thank you for that analysis, Jamie. It is certainly a cornerstone for national growth. We will continue to watch this closely.
Good morning. Today we are looking at a fascinating discovery from the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean that could change how we fight climate change.
That is right, Alex. Scientists have discovered a new type of bacteria. They are calling it Lithococcus carboferens. These tiny organisms have a very special ability.
Most living things release carbon dioxide when they breathe. However, these microbes do the opposite. They capture carbon dioxide and turn it into solid stone.
This process is called microbial mineralization. While this happens naturally in the ocean, these specific bacteria do it much faster than anything we have ever seen before.
It is a major breakthrough. Researchers are already thinking about how to use this technology on land. They want to create bioreactors filled with these microbes.
These reactors could be placed near factories or power plants. As the factory releases exhaust gases, the bacteria would catch the carbon and turn it into solid blocks. These blocks could then be used for building or safely buried underground.
What makes this even more interesting is that it doesn't require a lot of expensive energy. The bacteria get their energy from the chemical reaction itself. It is a natural, efficient solution.
Of course, the research is still in the early stages. Scientists need to make sure the bacteria can survive and work well in different environments outside of the deep sea.
Still, it is a very hopeful discovery. It offers a new way to protect our atmosphere without stopping industrial production.
It is a perfect example of how nature can provide the tools we need for a cleaner future.
Thank you for joining us for this update. We will continue to follow this story as the research develops.
Good morning. Today, we are reporting on a historic achievement in the world of science. Researchers have successfully maintained a nuclear fusion reaction for a full 24 hours.
Hello, Alex. This is truly a landmark moment. For decades, scientists have tried to copy the process that powers the stars. The goal has always been to create clean energy, but until now, they could only maintain the reaction for a few seconds.
That is correct. Using a new technology called a magnetic mirror, the National Ignition Facility kept the reaction stable for an entire day. Most importantly, the experiment produced significantly more energy than it used to start. Experts are calling this the Kitty Hawk moment for the fusion era.
It is a perfect comparison. This proves that limitless clean energy is no longer a distant dream. It is a technical reality. From a safety perspective, fusion is also very different from older nuclear power. There is no risk of a meltdown, and it produces no long-term radioactive waste.
The fuel source is another major advantage. They use hydrogen extracted from seawater, which means the resource is almost inexhaustible. This could finally separate economic growth from resource scarcity.
It is a total game changer. In response to this success, the Trump administration has announced a national fusion moonshot. The goal is to integrate fusion power into the American energy grid by the early 2030s.
This marks a fundamental turning point for human civilization. We are moving toward a future of energy independence and a cleaner environment.
It is a very exciting time for science and for the country. Thank you for joining us for this update.
We will continue to monitor these developments. Have a productive day.